fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse, I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kiru's show here. And now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Izuku Midoriya. And well, we also had where he was. He was on the fence about going to UA to take the entrance exam. However, he did have an idea pop into his head. He decided that instead of going to UA as a student, he'd go to them and see them as an ally. Now, Midoriya, yeah. He has revealed to Principal Nezu and certain members of UA staff his circumstance. Now, many of them did find it to be hard to believe. However, Midoriya, he had proof, as he did say. Now, Midoriya, he's revealed to the pro heroes in that room his true name, All For One's true name, all of his quirks, and that he's All Might's successor. Along with that, he also has revealed to them that he is on a time limit. Now, all the pros, they did find this to be hard to believe. However, there is the seriousness Midoriya does have in his tone and his voice. Along with that, Nezu, he can tell Midoriya is not lying. The fact that Midoriya possesses so many quirks was a strange thing. However, it being the previous user's quirks did make sense. But the fact that Midoriya is giving out All For One's true name, that's what was very hard to understand. Nezu beginning to look into this immediately with UA resources, as Midoriya had to go to see Recovery Girl about his brain. Now, Recovery Girl, she couldn't do very much. However, she did do basic examinations and talk to one of the pros in the school about getting an X-ray machine set up, along with something that can actually help detect Midoriya's brainwaves. Now, this was a pro hero from the support department, and he did find this request to be quite strange. However, he did just listen, telling Recovery Girl that it would take about a week at minimum to complete if he does put everything he has on the project. And Recovery Girl specifying to him that this is an urgent project, and that it does need to be made immediately. Now, the support course teacher, he did understand this request, since it's not only coming from Recovery Girl, but it's coming from Nezu. So, he decided to put some of his students up to the test as well as oversee the project himself. Meaning that at a minimum it would take at least 4 to 5 days, if everything does turn out right. Now, we do then have where Midoriya, he did do all the tests Recovery Girl could do for him at that point, along with Midoriya continuing to train. Now, All Might, he did try to contact young Midoriya, and he does find it to be quite strange. His experience with Nana whenever he was her successor was nothing like this. Nana was always there for him, and he was always there with her. The two were very close, but then there's his relationship with young Midoriya. The two are actually quite distant. They don't really have very many conversations, and then there's the fact that Midoriya's avoiding him. He saw him at UA, but that was it. Paperwork for him never came in. Did he not apply? that doesn't make sense to him. Now, All Might, he did go to Principal Nezu, as we do have where he does explain Izuku Midoriya asking about his paperwork. Yes, All Might, this is, well, a complicated situation. Okay, I understand that, sir, but please, can you tell me what's going on with my successor at least? Now, Nezu, he does begin to start sipping his coffee, as we do cut to inside of his brain. He's looking at 3 different scenarios that have 3 different things branching off. And he's looking at how this can affect the decision for the future. Option A. He tells All Might the truth. He tells All Might about his successor having multiple quirks and being this quote-unquote revived person. Now, 2 options can come from about this. And that's where everything does begin to start splitting off from that single avenue. All Might, he's okay with that. They can use that information and quickly take down that villain. There's option B. All Might, he finds it to be quite skeptical. Midoriya has been given a second chance at life, and he might try to find his brother and protect him. Now, All Might, yeah, I want to say he's at least not that stupid. All for One is a very broken man, and his brother might feel sympathy towards him. So, Midoriya, he could go rogue and try to prevent All Might from killing his brother. And there is option C. All Might, he'll try and take down Midoriya and take the power back. If he does learn exactly what Midoriya intends to do. Now, Midoriya's intentions are a mystery to Principal Nezu. And that's the thing that Nezu is trying to find a hard thing to understand. Now, you do have the scenario B. He denies All Might this information. And he does simply just turn him away. All Might could either A. Start looking into it himself and discover the truth unwillingly by Midoriya's standards. B. Midoriya, yeah, he's forced to confront All Might about everything and inform him of what's going on. Now, that can lead to a lot of difficulties and distrust between predecessor and successor. And then there is option 3, or C, which would be where Nezu, he completely ignores All Might and tells UA's staff to just go about their business as usual and continue to train his successor in secret. Now, Nezu, he does see all these options, and there is option C. Nezu, he gets Midoriya to confess to All Might everything, and All Might can work towards helping Midoriya. Now, option C seems like the best one. In his mind, he can clear the air between him and his, mentor, or should-be mentor. However, it's difficult. Now, All Might is still waiting there. Nezu still sipping his tea as he does finish the cup. Now, Nezu would sit down as he does bring his hands up. Yes, All Might. That is a complicated situation. Between you and Izuku, Midoriya. Alright. But please, can you tell me if he got in or not? Well. I'm sorry to inform you, All Might, but I believe you should consult your successor and confront him directly if you want a proper answer. But can't you just explain it to me? All Might, I cannot. The situation has become more complex. Complex? What did you and him talk about? I am not obligated to reveal that to you. He was quite specific about not allowing you to know this information. Information? Yes. Now, This is a very delicate situation, and I believe that your intervention could either be good or bad. Do you have faith in your successor? Of course I do. Why wouldn't I? Then why are you questioning his methods? Well, it's because of, hmm? It's because you feel quite distant, isn't it? Yes. You believe that since you are not taking the same approach Nana Shimura did to you, you are failing him, do you not? Along with his, well, you know, condition. That's exactly it. I see. Toshinori, do not guilt trip yourself. Hmm? Yes, you passed on that quirk to him. And I can tell you at least one piece of information. He will be the one to take down All for One. How can you be so? Please. You did the right thing, passing on that power to him. However, at the same time, you should not concern yourself with the aftermath. You yourself are in a particular situation, are you not? Yes, but I understand your concerns. However, please understand. Now, Nezu would politely ask All Might to leave his office, as he would do so. Now, we do then have where All Might, he does then give Midoriya a call. Now, Midoriya, yeah. It has been roughly 1 to 2 days since he went to UA for that test. Now, Midoriya, he is currently training at home, as he would pick up his phone and answer, hello? Yes, Midoriya, I would like to speak with you, urgently. Is something wrong? Um, yes, please. What happened? Is he back? Did you find him? No. Okay. You had me worried for a second. I thought you found. What are you going to say an S before he does close his mouth? What was that, young Midoriya? Nothing. Ah, I see. Now, All Might, he would ask Midoriya if they can have a conversation. Sure. Now, the two begin to speak. All Might explain that he feels like he's not there for Midoriya, and he feels like he's failing his previous mentor by not taking the same approach. He understands that Midoriya wanted some distance, but he is not going to be able to do that for much longer. He's been trying to put up with it, but he's at his limits. I understand, All Might, but... Now, Midoriya does pause. As Nana Shimura, she does pop up. Midoriya looking her way as she has been to start talking. Okay. Classic Toshi. Always so soft and lighthearted. So what should I do? Now, Nana's predecessor, he does pop up. As you do have where Fifth, he also does pop up as well. Fifth thinks that Midoriya, he should just talk to All Might and train with him. If he does reveal the multiple quirks to him, All Might, he could at least provide some insight. However, you have Sixth, who does talk about how that's what the teachers at UA are for. Think about it. Aizawa has the capture scarf, and that works just like Fifth's quirk. And then there is Miss Midnight, who does have the quirk that works just like their cloud quirk, or their mist quirk. Now, this is all quite interesting, as you do also then have where, well, Nana just inform all of them to please be quiet for 1 minute and let her talk to their successor. Fine. Now, everybody does disappear. As Nana, she does turn directly to Midoriya. Alright, so, You are probably not going to listen to me, Izuku. However, I would like you to speak to Toshinori. Sit down with him and talk, please. The boy's very emotional, and somewhat like you. Hey, that was not an insult. That was meant as a compliment. Your emotions, they drive you and make you a better person, or make you a better person. However, you are also neglecting All Might's. He might be able to teach you some things you do not know. In fact, I showed him a few tricks of my own. Hmm? Tricks of your own? Yes. And he may have some experience to build upon that. Young Midoriya, are you still there? Sorry, All Might, I spaced out. Are you alright, young man? Yeah. Hey, let's meet in person and talk. There's something you need to know. Now, All Might, he is actually happy that Midoriya is wanting to talk. Okay, that's a big step forwards. Now, we do then have for Midoriya, he does request that All Might meet him at UA. And All Might would explain to Midoriya that he's actually already here. Now, Midoriya would explain to All Might that he'll be there in about probably 10 minutes. And All Might, he is kind of surprised. UA should be farther away from his apartment. If he's correct, it at least takes some, 4 minutes to get to UA from his place? And that's at him going at his maximum speed. So, that's quite a surprise. Now, Midoriya, he would begin to start packing everything up. As Midoriya, he makes sure that he has everything. Along with him, going to walk into his bathroom and go to look around for something to hold up his hair. Now, Midoriya, he does look at himself in the mirror. As Yoshi, he does pop up behind him. That's pretty funny, you know? Yeah, I kind of get what you're talking about. Yeah, you look just like me, just the face is a little different and the hair is a different color. Yeah, it's still pretty strange. What do I to say? Him grabbing his hair as he does put it into a small ponytail. Telling Yoshi that, as long as his hair doesn't start to turn white, he feels like he might be fine. Maybe. But you could dye it too. Please, I'd rather not. Oh, come on, it was just a suggestion. Now, we do then have our Midoriya, he does head out with his backpack. Now, we do have our Bakugo Katsuki, he was going to step out of his apartment. However, he does turn to see Midoriya. Now, he is very surprised. Whenever Midoriya, he does look around. Now, Midoriya, he looked to his left just as Bakugo, he started to open the door. Him then looking to his right. Now, Bakugo, he did go to say something. However, Midoriya, he did just grab his hands onto the wall and start to float up into the air. Bakugo, looking at this kind of confused. As he does try to think. Okay, when did he learn that trick? Now, Midoriya, he does float over the side of the building. As he does then look around again. Him activating One for All as he does go to leap off or at least push off with flames. And Bakugo does watch Midoriya leave at high speeds. As he does this, sit there kind of confused. Wait a minute. Electricity and he can fly? Now, that's what Bakugo is thinking. When the hell did Midoriya get another quirk? Or is that just a part of his quirk? No, that can't be right. He's known Midoriya his whole life. Shit, did it have something to do with what happened to him? Is he not telling him something? Now, we do have where All Might, he is waiting around. It's already been about 5 minutes, and Midoriya is still not here. As we do have where Midoriya, he does shout, "Hey All Might," after about another 3 or 4 minutes. All Might actually looking around before Midoriya he does just say up here. As All Might he does look up in the air and he does have his eyes widen. As Midoriya he does float down and land. Young Midoriya, that shouldn't be. When did you? All Might, listen. What I'm going to explain to you is going to be very complicated, and it's going to take a very long time for you to understand. So we need to head inside. Now, Midoriya he is walking with All Might. Midoriya trying to explain to him. The two, they have a lot to talk about. Well, young Midoriya, I'm happy you want to speak with me, but is that a new ability to your quirk? No, it's not. It's Nana Shimura's. Nana Shimura? Wait, how do you know her? I need to tell you about a lot of things, so let's just head inside and catch up. Now, Midoriya and All Might, they do head to the teacher's lounge. As a lot of the teachers, they do see Midoriya. And many of them do see All Might with him. Now, this is where Midoriya, after him and All Might do sit down and get at least a cup of water or a cup of tea, Midoriya, he does spread out the information and begin to start explaining to All Might his origin and exactly why One For All was so keen to return to Midoriya. Now, All Might, he is saying there, super confused and with his eyes widened. This explanation is insane. Young Midoriya, this can't be true. All Might, do you know All For One's true name? Well, actually, All Might, have you been fighting a guy your entire life without knowing his name? Not even hearing it once? Well, I did hear something at least one time, but it was a, very dangerous situation, and Seiso Shigaraki. That sounds familiar, yes, I think that was it. Yes, it is. Now, glad to have got that out of my chest. Now, All Might, he is trying to process this information, as Midoriya he does get to stand up and explain to All Might that he has to go back to his training. And that he has to talk to Mr. Aizawa later tonight. Aizawa? Yes, he's helping me harness the powers of Black Whip. Is that a... Yes, it's another quirk. I'm only caught off from two of our predecessors' quirks, okay? One of them, they think it's too dangerous. The other one, they're sort of against me at the moment. They don't think I'm, let's just say, worthy yet. Now, Midoriya, he does go to walk away. As All Might, he is just sitting there. And he is trying to think about everything. That it kind of explains why One For All tried to jump to him. It must have sensed that this was the original user. It was the host body. So, that explains that. However, he just has so many more questions now. As he does try to think. Nana must have told him to go train with Gran Torino. That explains that. But wait, does Gran Torino know? Now, All Might he would go to call Gran Torino, as he does want to ask a few questions about Midoriya's training with him. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing day. Catch you guys in the next part.